Don't lie to literary agents. My name is Jean. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. This comment says, whatever genre is an agent's favorite, that's the genre my book is, and don't do this. Now, there is an element of this a little bit where if you are writing something that is like a romantasy, where it is genuinely like the romance and the fantasy are playing equal roles, but you have done all of the world building necessary to satisfy fantasy fans and you have all of the romance beats to satisfy a romance fan, you might be able to pitch this as like a fantasy with a romantic subplot when it comes to like pitching someone who doesn't have romantasy on their list. But then you might be able to call it a romantasy when they do have romantasy on their list. Like, you can fudge these lines a little bit, or if you are genuinely like genre blending, you might be able to say like, this is a literary horror, or this is a dark speculative fiction. Like, those two things are so very similar and there's some gray area. You might be able to fudge that line a little bit. But you absolutely should not go into someone's inbox and be like, I know you said you don't want fantasy, but you're going to love mine. So I'm going to lie to you and say that this is science fiction. Or I'm going to lie to you and say it's a historical. Or I'm going to lie to you and say that it's a literary when it's not. You need to be honest about what your work is, and you need to pitch it and just like be proud of what you are selling. Because agents can tell the difference. They can tell when you are lying, they can tell when you are exploiting that genre bending line. And to be clear, exploiting that genre blending bending line is okay. Like, that's part of the benefit and the drawbacks of a genre bender. Because sometimes you're going to go in there and say like, this is really blurring the lines between, like I said, literary horror or dark speculative, and they're going to go in with their own expectations of what that should look like. And sometimes you're not going to meet expectations because you're just slightly on the other side of that line. And there's nothing you can do about their expectations other than just being honest about your work and setting appropriate expectations as best you can. But when somebody pitches their work as one thing and then it is very clearly another, that becomes evident really fast. And then you're going to get a form rejection for just lying to people.